besides us being happy to see you, obviously we have a crowd in spirit, and they're very happy to see you. They always are. So today, after almost 3 months, I think next week it'll actually be 3 months, we are able to gather here together once more in this beautiful church and sanctuary. And so far, what a ride it's been, right? When we first had to close our doors after our annual membership meeting on March 15th, who of us knew that it would be 3 months until we met again? To hear the words brought through our speakers, through spirit, from infinite intelligence or God. That's not to say, of course, that we have not had access to the Word through numerous other sources, but to be able to gather here in the sanctuary has been denied us for safety reasons, obviously. So even though we are meeting under these conditions, respecting the guidelines of the CDC and our state government, we are here once again to hear. So let's take a moment right now, a moment of silence. We're going to offer up a prayer of thanksgiving that we are here. So many throughout the country, throughout state and local, have been lost in this battle. And believe me, brothers and sisters, it has been and it continues to be a battle. Let's offer that prayer right now. If we could just observe a moment of silence for all of those that we have lost during this time. When this all came about so swiftly, the call to close all of our public venues, it was pretty much catastrophic in so many ways. We were traumatized, scared, shocked. What was the world becoming? It was humbling for all of us Americans. The greatest country in the world brought to its knees, literally brought to its knees in prayer for what was to come. No one estimated the fallout from this. Everyone made guesses, guesstimates, all kinds of ideas were out there. No one could comprehend putting the brakes on this mighty, undefeated nation. Just about everything we knew came to a screeching halt. We hid inside. We were told not to leave our homes. We avoided our friends, our own families, and neighbors, as if everyone was a possible carrier of a plague similar to the Spanish influenza that killed millions of people in the early 1900s. It was equated to that. And there were those alive still that remembered that great time of sorrow and distress in our world and so much death. So what could have brought all of this about? Obviously, there's been tons of speculation, so much blame to cast. Where did it come from? Who spread this sickness all the ends of the earth, it seemed. So much news being bombarded constantly by the media, theories, ideas, rants, people's opinions. Listen to this one, listen to that one. That's all that was on the TV or the internet or radio shows. People were in their homes afraid, listening to every news report. So much fear, so much blame. What was to happen to us? Schools, jobs, airlines, restaurants, and public gathering no more. Get used to this new normal, they told us. We can't even tell you how long this is going to last. And millions will perish to this unseen enemy. Who will be next? Who will bring it home from the supermarket or touching a pump at the gas station? The sky is falling. That's right, the sky is falling. So how did we, as spiritualists, as opposed to other God-fearing peoples around the world, respond to this? What has gotten us through this difficult time? What part does this religion play in our day-to-day survival and struggle for sanity? I wanted to handle this situation like I handle most of my puzzling and challenging times. So I can honestly say that I, for one, turn toward the light. And I put on my spiritualist thinking cap. I knew from past events in my life that I had this little secret within me. I knew that I and everyone around me carry the spark of the divine within me. I have a not-so-secret weapon. I trust in the compassion of God above and Spirit that steps in and guides me and directs me. I have Spirit that I sit still with and go within, and they will step in very closely as they have here today with us and light our path through this troubling darkness that attempted to creep into our world. I, as a true spiritualist, would not allow it to overpower me, to overtake me. I sat with Spirit. I listened. I asked for guidance and direction and their blessings as well. How are we supposed to get through this? I asked them. Is this the end of our time here on the earth plane? Is this the Armageddon that we have heard about from so many others? Should we prepare ourselves for the end, I asked them. Spirit, as usual, found the way to calm me. They reminded me of the ways of God's laws, natural laws, the laws that have surpassed all times before. The earth cleanses itself. The earth heals itself. There might be some obvious collateral damage along the way, but the earth, in all its beauty, will prevail. But what about Bob and Ron and Marilyn and my neighbors next door, would we prevail as well? Spirit calmed me, reminded me. Think of your teachings, they said to me. At all times, keep an even mind. Calm yourself. Don't scare yourself unnecessarily. They actually told me to stop watching the television non-stop, as if we're under a hurricane watch. They said, use your common sense. Follow the recommendations of the experts, mainly the CDC. But stop listening to all the sensationalism. Stop obsessing over every news report, every channel, flipping channels madly. Listen for a short while in the early day to see the latest information. Then shut the TV off. There's only so much your mind has the strength to absorb and survive. Keep your sanity. Clear your mind of any possible doom. Strengthen yourself with inspirational readings, books, good uplifting movies. Play your favorite music. Dance, swim. Play with your pet if you have one. Experiment with new recipes. And I think we've all been guilty of that. Some were failures, some were pretty good. We shared with our friends all over the world. Do things that relieve your stress. And by all means, pray. This has been a time that we were literally forced to slow down and smell the roses, or the gardenias, or the wine, or the brownies baking in the oven. This, as I passed on to our church family as well through emails, etc., this was the time to purge. Spirit advised us to spend our time constructively. They knew this will pass in its own time. Who are we to try to battle against science? We can only play by the rules. So besides reinventing ourselves as masters of Scrabble, Monopoly, or card games, use this time to gain something. Knowledge. Comfort in the words of favorite authors. Find some inspiration, but at all times, keep an even mind. A lot of us cleaned out closets, cleaned out pantries, cleaned out garages, cleaned out refrigerators. We planted things. We slept in. We binged on favorite shows. We shared love with our families. We took the time to have conversations, discussions, a lot of things that prior to this were usually short a time in doing. So I did all of that and then some. I cleaned out my library. I had piles of boxes and bags in my garage just waiting to be donated. I learned that I could actually strive to be more of a minimalist, even though I would probably suck at it. But I made a dent in it. I kept saying, they're just things. Scale it down to what actually makes you happy and part with the rest. Albert Einstein said it best for me. 3 rules of work. Out of clutter, find simplicity. From discord, find harmony. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. I took those words to heart. I found simplicity through purging so many unnecessary things. I found true harmony, which started from within myself. And by all means, in the middle of this difficulty, there was ample opportunity. I reconnected with friends from long ago, friends from other countries, other states. I found peace and contentment, first of all, within my home, but most importantly, within my heart. I have learned, and I'm sure you have as well, so much from this forced shutdown. It has changed the way I perceive things. It has had a definitely positive impact on my life and how I want to go on from here. How I want to take something from this and spread it to those I love as well. We're all still going through this. We're all going through something right now. Something that most of us have never dealt with before and hope to never deal with again. But don't let it overtake you or your heart. Remember natural law. We will, as the earth, prevail and be stronger for it in so many ways. Let your heart glow and spread the glow